All right, guys, we're going to be doing live technical analysis on NCT PolySwarm. I'm going to hand it over to Crypto Papi.
Okay, we have PolySwarm paired with the US dollar. Weekly time frame and data is coming in from none other but Coinbase. So you could see here, just like the token we just talked about, what happens when it got listed on Coinbase. It went from an all-time high of just about 18 cents and just dumped. Couldn't find any support until it went from about 18 cents down to 3 cents. Goodness gracious. So from 18 cents to 3 cents, that wasn't even it. It pumped back up from 3 cents just about to 6 cents, and then it was done. He said, boss, I've worked too hard for too long. I'm coming down to a fraction of a penny, and I'm coming back to a penny actually, and going sideways for many, many years. So went sideways for years before pumping up to the upside to just about mid 5 cents before rejecting back down, but we found some support above our previous lows, dumped back down just ever so slightly, but we were still above our previous lows before creating a higher high, and it would just ended up being a wick because we had John Wick over there selling, taking profit with his sell limits up there beautifully before crashing back down. Thank you for crashing the market, god dang it. Before crashing back down. And here, like we talked about in some of the previous tokens, look at the wicks. Right after that happened, of course, the wick to the upside, but then a couple candle bodies over, that wick to the upside, these wicks versus the wicks to the downside. It's just all the buyers that try to move the coin up, the sellers are just dumping on them, dumping on the market before the buyers can't hold up, and we start dumping to the downside, getting actual little bit better candle body formations, still tight sideways movement, tried to wick up here, but the sellers took control. They let them come back slightly, and started moving down to the downside. But let's take a look here at one of our trend lines that has came into play over these past couple pumps. We have May 9th, 2022, first touch point. Second touch point looks like June 20th, 2022, and we just have that extended out to the right. So it acted as support before melting back through it, just about retested as resistance before staying below it for quite some time. Once we started to go parabolic and move towards the moon, all eyes were on that trend line, all eyes. And what did we do? Right when we hit it, we went just slightly below it before closing all the way down here. So it went up to almost 5 cents, but that candle body closed at low 3 cents. Then the following week, we pumped right back up again. We pump even higher to the mid 5 cents. And what do we do again? We close at the low 3 cents before starting to come back down to the downside. We make that nice cup formation here, the rounded bottom, and started to come up, which also again is a higher low. And then we made a higher high, and we wicked above that trend line, but even that much more than the previous wick above it. Wicked above it, we closed above it for 2 weeks, for 2 weekly time frames, but you know, with NCT, volatility is its middle name, came right back down to the downside, came all the way down to our 236. We found some support, and still look at these wicks. It's all wicks to the upside, very minimal wicks to the downside. So again, that just means there's more sellers than there are buyers. The buyers try to drive it up, but they say, no, not today, not round here. I'm taking my profit up here. Before slapping the price back down, finally the buyers were just too exhausted, and they dropped down and formed our zero movement there, which we're currently bouncing off of. But again, let's just zoom in and take a look. Right, we had some slight excitement here a couple of weeks ago when it wicked up to about just slightly over a penny before selling all the way back down. But again, look at the wicks to the downside versus look at the wicks to the upside. There are more sellers in the market than there are buyers until I step into NCT, not financial advice. But you could see here just the buyers seem exhausted, just like they did up here in these levels. And what does that mean? That means price is going to start coming back down to the downside. But again, Like most of the tokens we've covered today, we're zoomed out looking at the data from Coinbase. We're looking at multiple years of data, right? We're over 4 years of data here. If you're really heavily invested in NCT, none of this is financial advice, you would need to get a data provider that has, its original listing. You know what I mean? The original, probably a Uniswap pool back then, to see where, if we break below this zero movement, if we break below the all-time low price on the Coinbase chart, where are we going to go? Where could NCT PolySwarm go from there? You'll have to, if you're invested in it, you're going to have to look that up and figure out if it makes sense to cut your losses or to continue to dollar cost average. Not financial advice. So let's take a look at the movements to the upside for NCT. We have current price action to the 236 as 144% movement to the upside. Would be a thing of beauty. From current price action to the 618, 410% movement to the upside. Current price action to the 786 Fibonacci level, 525% movement to the upside. So with NCT, on the Coinbase chart, we're at all-time lows. We just printed an all-time low on the Coinbase chart a couple of weeks ago, about a month-ish ago. Now, are we going to start moving up to the upside? Are we going to bounce off of these levels? Are the sellers exhausted is the question, right? Are the sellers exhausted? And let's start moving this up to the 236, get a, 150% movement to the upside before we step back in and start selling? Or are they going to let it go to the 618 Fibonacci level before they start to step back in? With NCT, when it moves, you see that it moves. When it moves, it really goes parabolic and starts to move, and it's mainly wicks. So definitely, this isn't financial advice, but if you're an NCT, have your sell limits placed. If you're down here towards the bottom, potentially have some buy limits placed. Worst case scenario, buy limits, have them placed, because anything can happen in the crypto space, so trade safe, trade smart. And if you're in NCT, if the current price action, if it's below your dollar cost average or above, make the right decision. Dollar cost average, not financial advice.